Okay, I don't really know how to start this, but I just wanted to spread the message to people on mainland about what's really going on here because the media isn't doing us any good at all.
Yes, welcome back. What went wrong in Maui? Controversies built as the toll continued climbing. There was no warning. This lady you are about to see actually speak the truth on something I don't know if you have seen. I'm seeing a lot of videos on social media. When I read articles like you can see here, you will realize they all spread different messages. It is important we take an exclusive look into what is happening exactly. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. And if possible, why not share this clip?
Okay, I don't really know how to start this, but I just wanted to spread the message to people on mainland about what's really going on here because the media isn't doing us any good at all. We're not okay. We're not okay. We are emotionally damaged. A lot of people are physically injured. A lot of people have lost their family members. Only 25% of the burn zone has been searched, and there's already been 110 deaths. And it hasn't been the high impact burn zone. There's over 1,300 people without a roof over their head right now, me included. I'm lucky enough to have friends, but all of us are fucked. They're putting us in 30-day hotel stays in order to find everybody houses, but in a place where it's hard enough to find housing and hard enough to find jobs as it is, now that there is more people looking for jobs and there is less houses available on the island, everybody's fucked. And the thing for me is that there is this grand sense of community here, like nothing like I've ever seen before. The gay pride marches, at Black Lives Matter protests, I have never seen so many people come together and give up their own beds for people that just lost their house but that's the problem. It's that nobody else is doing anything. Nobody is helping. It's all Kanaka, people that live are the only ones that are helping at all. And that doesn't go to say that all of the people on mainland are doing anything wrong. It's not your fault, but the government helping it all. And nobody seems to have any idea what's going on over here. This is the biggest natural disaster. It's caused the most deaths in U.S. history. Isn't there one? I've calmed down. I've talked to so many of my friends on mainland that quite literally have no idea that there is 1,300 people packed in shelters and living out of their cars and having to move onto the streets and that aren't getting assistance and that aren't getting walked through these steps. They have no idea that the death count is so big. They have no idea that the majority of people that have perished are going to be the elderly and the children. They have no idea that our alarm system on this island is the biggest, it's the strongest in the entire nation. I think it might be the strongest in the whole world, but not as I'm off. Why is this not bigger news? Our government didn't give us any warning. We had to flee our houses. We lost everything. And nobody knows. 1,300 people are displaced right now and hundreds. Why does nobody know? And I'm sorry. I wanted to add one more thing. It's that this isn't a fast road. There's almost no recovering from this, especially not in a decade, maybe not in two. Who's to say? But our biggest industry over here is tourism, and now that our biggest tourist city burnt down, we are going to lose so many jobs. So many people are going to continue to lose their houses. People are going to have to sell their land to sources that they shouldn't just because nobody's going to be able to afford anything. This isn't a ball game. We're going to be working on this for decades, and we're going to need support for decades, and it's pretty obvious that no one is going to stick around and help. Nobody showed up in the first place, really. So, just spread the message. Yeah. It's sad, but spread it.
Yes, for about 4 days now, I have been reporting on this topic and looking through the comment sections. I appreciate your comment. It helps to spread out the message. 10 days after a series of apocalyptic blasts decimated large swath of Maui and killed at least 111 people. Locals were on Friday still searching for the spark behind the deadliest US-wide fire in over a century. The Justice Department announced Thursday that a specialist national response team for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives has been tasked with officially investigating the cause of the blaze that reduced the historic coastal town of Lahaina to ash. Just within the space of 1 week, we are getting different stories like never before. This person claimed from my investigation, this is what we are getting. The mainstream media is pushing a certain narrative of climate change. It has been a topic of discussion. We have seen recently a lot of locals in these areas sharing their experiences or what they are seeing on the ground. Tell us a lot. I took a decision to be reacting on some of the videos on the ground. You cannot know the truth from the mainstream media, even the local police, they are not speaking the truth. One recently resigned due to the fact that he got backlash.
First responders and the really very brave firefighters who have been dealing with this fire from the moment it began. So I want to be very clear, and as you mentioned, you all heard directly from the president. He takes his job incredibly seriously, which is why he mobilized the federal government to make sure that we did everything that we can on the ground. You talked about the major disaster declaration. The president was able to approve that within hours of when the governor requested that, because that's how seriously he took this, and he is taking this. We have dozens of federal agencies and departments who are working hand in hand with our local partners and our local state officials to make sure that the people in Maui are getting what they need. And you heard the president talk about what the FEMA has been able to do. When you think about 50,000 meals, more than 50,000 meals being delivered, 75,000 liters of water, think about thousands of cots, thousands of blankets. All of these things are incredibly important. You see the Department of Transportation dealing with working closely with commercial airlines to get folks out. And so we are taking this incredibly seriously. The president has mentioned, you heard him publicly say, that the First Lady and himself are going to be going to Hawaii when we know they are not being disruptive. We see FEMA Search and Rescue. They're sifting through ashes, 5-mile radius of ashes.
Yes, this is the White House trying to address what is going on. This is not helping in any way. I've done videos here where people are actually confessing they don't have any help. I watched a live stream on TikTok. People raising about 2 million within the space of 1 hour. But the government is unable to do this. What is the meaning of this? But they are able to send billions in Ukraine. Look at how people are suffering. Look at how they are frustrated. It saddens my heart to actually see this happening. I have said this and I'll repeat myself. It is high time people realize the truth.
Do you regret not sounding the sirens?
I do not. And the reason why, and
So many people said they could have been saved if they had time to escape. Had a siren gone off,